Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be carrying on with some work on the front end of Mrs Winn and see how we get on this weekend and see how much we can get actually done. So let's go outside and let's have a recap on where we actually are. Right, so I've got myself a really big sheet of steel, mixing cups for my paint. I've got 2.5 litres of paint there. Obviously I've took the filler flap off there just to make sure that we've got a decent match. So I'm using 2K paint, russet brown. So I've got the thinners and I've got the activator stroke hardener for my paint. So it's all from Jaaaag paints over in Tamworth. Can't speak highly enough of the guys over there. They're really helpful and tell you everything you need and what you need to do. So that's all for Mrs Winn. Right, here she is, still up in the air, and I've not done anything this week because I haven't had time. So I can now start cutting out some of this crappy metal under there and welding in some new stuff. Obviously I am going to do it in stages. Obviously I don't have presses and metal benders or anything like that to put everything in one go, so I'm going to have to do it in stages, just like I have done before with everything else. So yeah, so let's get the mighty white rolled back a little bit so I can have some room, and let's get the grinder out. Blow me neck, that's a lot of Titanic down here. Right, yeah, so I've cut off that, obviously that part there, as it's the most holy bit, and obviously the little part of this this box section here had also rotted through, so I've cut that out as well, as you can see there. There's a lot of surface rust under here, and if I was to put my hand inside there, yeah, there is a lot of dust and debris both sides there. So I might get the airline on that and give that a blowout. Get my torch in there and just to have a look as well, see how much is rotten on that cross member there. I think it was just that little bit, and obviously there's a lot I need to dress up here and clean up so I can weld my new panel to. I mean, really that was there a drain hole, same as it is there, so I've got no problem welding a strip of metal across there and recutting them out, so that will reinforce that anyway. The one over that side doesn't look too bad, if a little bit blocked up, so we'll cure that while we're at it. So with this panel now, basically I'll just trace round that onto the new metal, and obviously leave myself plenty this side just to hang over, because I will then tuck it up behind here once I've dressed it up, and obviously weld from the inside there. So once that's on, welded in place, I can then start cutting out this little bit here. I don't know what to do with this, I really don't. Ideally I should just cut it out and start again with it, but yeah. We'll see once we get cracking, no big deal. So as per usual, with the piece of metal I've just cut out, I've traced round it with the good old Sharpie, and all that's left to do now is just cut it out. So that will be the part for the underside there, and then I've just got to measure up then for the hole that I created up there. Easy peasy. And there we are with that cut out. Obviously that will need to be tacked up there. Once it's tacked into place, that gives me a nice easy piece of metal to to weld and tack into place. And right, so that's just to show you that that is more or less ready to go. A little bit of dressing up on a couple of tight parts, just so I can get the gaps down a little. And like I say, I've left plenty of metal at the back there, so if I need to trim any away, I'm not going to lose too much metal. So yeah, that's looking good. So yeah, just a little bit of shaving here and there, just to tidy it up so I can get a nice gap. Right, that's that done. Let's cut that other bit out for that front part, get it dressed up, and get the welder out. Yay! So there's no time like the present. I've cut out a piece of metal there just to go in there. I'm not worried about this edge yet. I will left that long on purpose so I can bring it round, tuck it round and back over. That will be welded then to the underside here. So I'm not too fussed about that at the moment, and nor does it need to look pretty, simply because I'm only putting metal there where there should have been some and there wasn't. So I will tidy my welds up, and that's about it. Like I say, it's never going to be seen anyway, so all I need to do is just protect that and put a little bit of strength back into that cross member there. So that's all I'm intended to do with that. So I'll just carry on, tidy up my welds, tuck this under, weld it all up, and then we can start putting this panel back in. Obviously I'm not going to put any wax oil or any lubricant under there at the moment, simply because it's going to catch fire, so there's absolutely no point. But what I will do is, probably when I cut into this, I will then start to put some in before I shut it up here. But I do want to get the airline out, get any rust that's in there, get that out as well, just blow it all out the way, and we can see where we're going from there. But you know, like I say, this is only a cover. All the strength is here, which you don't see, so I'm not too fussed if it doesn't look 100%. Obviously here, yeah, I really do need to spend some time on that, but let's get cracking, let's get this tidied up, buttoned up, and hopefully we can start putting the bottom panel on. So with everything dressed up there, I'm pretty sure I can start tacking that into position there. So nothing much more to say on it really. It's just a case of tacking it in and then filling in all the welds and then adjusting it as I go along. So yeah, let's make a start. Okay, so we got that under panel there tacked in place. I always have difficulty welding upside down, I must admit, so I have blew a couple of holes in places, but nothing I can't handle. Basically I'll just turn the amperage down, turn the wire speed down, and I'll be able to plug fill them holes then and make it all one. But even just with tacking it in place, it's all sounding nice and solid again. Obviously I've still got the back end to weld up, but apart from that, all going well. So I will continue. I'll dress off some of these welds and linish them off a little bit and start filling in the gaps. So we're going to have to leave it there for now, because it's now started to rain. But I've done a little bit more welding and get that linished off and then fill in all the gaps again. It's a slow process, but it's pretty much same old, just little tiny blobs of weld, linish it back and see where you've missed. Because the metal's so thin, my welder's a little bit powerful and it keeps blowing holes anyway, so it's a case of just a small spot weld, move along, another spot weld, same as before, just like I did the Jaaaag really. It's so there's not much more worth videoing now until I actually get this welded up, and then I can start cutting out the rest of the metal. But yeah, rain is stopping play. So sorry Mrs Winn, you're gonna have to wait a bit. Stay tuned. So after rain stopped play, managed to get that all welded up and dressed up nicely. Right, so on to the next bit, this lovely bit with holes in. So I am just going to cut this here, trim this bit of metal out, and so weld that in sections. I may actually push it up into this lip here, if I can get a decent curve on that piece of metal there. So okay, let's crack on, do some more, because I don't think I'm going to be able to weld onto that. I think that's just too thin there. So yeah, fabrication skills are really being tested. Lol. Okay, so I've chopped out another bit. So what I managed to do was chop this out and leave that lip there. Yes, I have chopped these little triangles out just to get the spot welds off. So basically my new panel is going to sit there, so it's basically just like it should do, more or less. So all I have to do now is make sure I can get that in there and shape it up, which is basically looks like a more or less a 90-degree angle, I think. And then what I'll be doing is tucking it up underneath and then welding to this edge here. That's the plan. So I just need to trim it down just a little bit. I'd rather take metal off than try and put it back on. So yeah, that should sit nicely there. Curve that round, curve it in again, so it'll sit under there. What I can do, if I've left enough material, I can drill some small holes along the top and maybe plug weld it just to hold it all together before I then stitch it all in. That's the plan. Plans change. And I think from this end, because that metal there is okay, I think what I might do is do basically the same again and literally chop that out there, cut all that part out, and with that also being spot welded, I can hopefully do the same again to that bit if I can get this to sit nice. I know this metal's actually okay, but the way it's gone there, I'm just not sure, and it means I can use less filler when I'm smoothing all this back out. We'll see how things go. So we've almost got the profile there for that edge. Obviously there's a slight curve here where it sits on the under tray, so I just need to sharpen up this edge and then I can roll in that edge once it's all leveled up. The dogs are barking for a reason, because I think somebody's arrived with an Allegro. Well, so midway through my video I've had to get all my junk out the Jaaaag, and I've had to swap a car because the boss man is nicking my Jaaaag again. So the video to this bit will have already gone out, so say hello to your fans and goodbye.
Hello and goodbye. It's very low, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, time to get some more welding done. Nice. He's taking the Jaaaag.
See you later.
Have fun.
I'll bring you a gazebo.
Oh, thanks.
All the windows are all open. You're very short, aren't you?
Yeah.
Right.
Bye. And again, off goes the Jaaaag. So I've just tidied up this edge just to make it a little bit more prominent. Might just need a little bit more fettling, we'll see, which I can do afterwards. So now I want to roll this top edge and so that I can tuck that in underneath there. So I'm quite happy with how that's sitting there. Once that's all welded in, that'll be okay. So right, back in the shed, back to the vise, and we'll get it rolled out. So I just need to mark it and roll it over. Let's see how we go. So I don't quite have metal benders and things like that, so I'm just showing you how I go about bending this piece of metal. So as you can see, I've marked it there and I just want to roll it over. So basically what I'm doing, starting at one edge, putting it in the vise as best I can, close to the line, and as you can see that there, just as close to the line as I can get in the vise. It's only a little thing, so let's just pop you back down there, and basically all I'm doing is giving it a gentle roll. Move it along, and it's not moving much at the moment because I don't really want it to anyway, and again a gentle roll. And then what I'll do later on is, I think I've got some decent metal, thickness metal in the van that I can use as a straight edge. So bear with me, folks. It's just a case of making things work really to suit myself, and then back again, roll it. Now that it's all been initially rolled, it becomes a little bit easier to do as you go along. This might, you know, it's not ideal, it's not perfect, it's not 100%, but it will be as near as damn it as I want, and I can then straighten this. So as you can see there, it's now starting to take the profile of what I want. I'm limited to a vise, that's all I've got, so now it will just be a case of putting that edge in the vise again and rolling over that corner some more. But I think I can do some more rolling as it is, just to get the edges right, and then I can take it out to the car, marry it up, and see how much more work I need to do there. And then obviously flatten off that edge as well a little bit more if I need to. So yeah, that's basically how I'm doing that. Cool. And as you can see there, we're not far off, it's just pushing it down slightly, so I just want to push that, roll that over just a little bit more, and that will give me plenty of room to now work with, and I can start tacking it into place. Awesome. Right, what a day it's been. Okay, this bit over here, I decided to leave it alone, and I could see that the welding had split, so I just thought, I wonder if I can re-weld it. And there we go, it's on, it's nice and solid. And I thought to myself, there's no point removing metal that doesn't really need to be removed. So I know it doesn't look pretty. At the end of the day, it's all misshaped anyway, and other than trying to obtain another panel, there's not a lot I can do with it, simply because I don't have, you know, metal formers and things like that. I'm working from a 4-inch vise, that's as much as I can do. So I've decided the metal's good, it's going to stay there. once it's all, you know, everything's all linished back and, you know, made to look pretty, probably not even going to notice. So I've decided to leave well alone and just repair. I've also repaired the corner of the wings there where it had split, so them have all got metal back in there now, so I'm quite happy with that. And then afterwards as well, it's going to get a good layering of stone chips, so that will cover all inside there anyway. Once the bumper's on, number plates on, you're probably not even going to see most of that anyway, because the indicators come down to there, and that's about as much as you see. So I'm happy with that. That's cool. At the end of the day, there's metal there now where there wasn't. So my next repair is going to be up here, and it'll just be a case of cut it out. I think I'm not going to piss around trying to repair that. I'm just cut it out, welder stripping, and Bob's your uncle, I think. That's if your uncle's name's Bob, then he's your uncle. Right, so swiftly moving on. As you can see, I've chopped this bit out because it was very holy as well. I can't think where I've put it now, but anyway. You'll see that I've cut my metal to length, but you'll see there are a couple of little slits that I've put in there. Simply because if I was to hold the straight edge up, you'll notice that it actually curves round slightly. So rather than try and cut a curve out from that, it's just a case of putting a couple little slits in, and I'll show you in a minute when I push it all together. It should come together quite well. Let's have a look. And there we have it. That should weld nicely into place like that. So it's only a slight curve, but you need to put the put the slits in there just to bring that gentle curve round. It's amazing how awkward it is making panels for these. It's nothing straightforward. It's all angles and curves, believe it or not, but there you go. So, right, without further ado, let's get this welded in. I'm getting bored myself now. And that's another repair done, all nice and solid again. So there's just a couple of little areas now that I want to crack on and get welded up, and that's this little bit here. It'll just be a case of cutting it out level with the wing, probably chop it out to about there, and then just weld that in there. Not sure if I need to do anything this side. A little bit of the lip has gone, but is it going to be worth it? I don't know, maybe even a bit of seam sealer in there, because it's fairly solid, so other than a bit of surface rust, I don't know if it's worth it or not, because I would imagine that's seam sealer down there anyway, so might leave that. I might just tidy that up. But yeah, so I'm going to cut a bit of metal out now and sort that bit out, and then I can start making it look pretty-ish. Now that's another repair done. Down this edge here is actually paintable sealant that goes down there, but it's stitched on anyway, and I can just tack a little bit on there and tidy that up. Right, that's about it I think for today. The weather has played absolute havoc with me. It's rained, it stopped, it's dried up, it's been nice, and then it come back again. So I think in the next video we can start tidying this old girl up and making her look pretty and presentable, and hopefully we'll get all the front put back together. Wouldn't that be nice? So I think that'll be it. So we've got the Mighty White looking mighty as usual. She's going to need a wash because she has got a little bit of dust over her, but now it's just started to rain. Blue sky and it's raining. That doesn't make sense, but there you go. And as you saw earlier, Ricky turned up with Agatha. Basically, as per usual, Ricky is going off in the camper van for 10 days, so I can play around with it with Agatha and maybe go for the drive. Basically just to keep her used. As Ricky has said in previous videos, he's just not using it. So if he's happy to take the Jaaaag away, I'm definitely happy to take Agatha. And you know, after work, go and grab a shower and go for a little drive. So that'll suit me fine. So the Jaaaag has gone over to Ricky's. Black Ambassador. Well, my suspension's still up, so I'm quite impressed. And it cost me 150 quid for the paint for Mrs Winn. So I've probably got more than I need. No, I'm not going to paint the black one brown. But gauging on how much it's cost me to get the paint, I'm now tempted, very, very tempted to probably next month get the paint in stock ready for the black one. Because body wise, she's really good. She's absolutely solid as a rock. Given that, you know, she lives outside and there's these rusty bits, all these will polish off. It's not rotten at all. So I'm really tempted to basically get body work done, paint work done, and really all I'm left with is the engine. Yeah, answers down below. What shall I do next? But I'm going to continue with Mrs Winn for the time being. You beautiful old girl. So yeah, there we go. There is no metal back on Mrs Winn where there wasn't before. So I've had a good couple of days. Weather has played havoc with me all weekend, but there you go. Excuse me. Yeah, and I really do need a wash and a shower. So thank you all very much for watching and staying tuned. I hope you've enjoyed so far what we're doing on the wedges. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment below. Your comments are always welcome, good or bad. We'll even have a laugh with you. So take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you again real soon. Cheerio now. Bye bye.